Happy Tuesday, everybody. You are watching Into the Void Happy Hour. We are in episode 4. We've been doing this for a whole frickin' month. Can you believe it? Because I certainly can't. We got some beer from KCBC, Kings County Brewing Company, from New York. And we've got the new album from StreamBeats, Demon. It's their first, StreamBeats original rock album. I'm gonna actually be kind of going sort of back to the roots of this whole stream and start talking a little bit about the music for once, among other things today. But if this is your first time here, welcome. If you are, if you're returning, say hi in the chat, say hi to everyone. We love an active chat. We stand for an active chat. Sorry, I'm kind of getting myself organized here because running a little behind this afternoon. Incidentally, for once, it's not because of Valheim. More on that later. But how is everybody doing? Hope you're doing great. Hope you've had a good week so far. Hope you got big plans this week. If you're joining me for happy hour today, cheers, and let me know in the chat what you're drinking. So anyway, let's dive right into it. This music in the background is from StreamBeats. I talk about them pretty frequently on this channel because they are this high-quality, royalty-free music, basically, that streamers and content creators can use to just put music in the background of everything. I use it for just about every one of my videos in some capacity. The intro that I use in all of my videos is a StreamBeats track. The outro is a StreamBeats track, and the two people behind it put together this album over the past, 6 months. It was written by the editor of, I believe it's the editor of Harris Heller's videos and his audio guy. And then he sings, and they both sing on it, and he plays guitar and all this fun stuff. And I gotta say, I listened to the whole album while I was editing the other day. It's excellent. That's the whole reason I have it in the background today. It's a very, very good rock album. For something that is free to use, something that is completely royalty free, something that I can actually talk about on a stream, on a live stream, it's stellar. It's very, very good. So I don't get paid to say any of this. Obviously, I'm a small channel, all that fun stuff. If you haven't heard of this guy, or if you haven't heard of StreamBeats, or you haven't heard this album yet, you need to go check it out, because it's it gives me very strong Shinedown vibes. If anybody remembers that band from the mid 2000s to the early 2010s, they don't really do much anymore other than tour occasionally, and they put out an album a year or two ago. I get very heavy Shinedown vibes from this, and anybody that knows me knows that one of my top 10 albums of all time is a Shinedown album, and this is actually really, really good. I love it. It slaps. And it's a really cool project that he's doing, trying to get good royalty-free music out there. Like I said, I was talking about this last week. I think that's the future of the music industry. I think that's truly where the music industry is headed. But I'm not going to spend an entire half hour talking about DMCA strikes and all that nonsense again. I am, however, going to talk very briefly about something funny that happened. Some of you may have caught my BlizzCon reaction on Friday. My live reaction, I had Matt from Debate This, Rando, and Conman were here with me as well, talking about our expectations for Overwatch. But about halfway through the stream, towards the end of the opening ceremony for BlizzCon, Blizzard did a thing where they brought on Metallica, which was hilarious to me for a few reasons, not the least of which was the fact that it just seemed sort of out of place. But they were playing For Whom the Bell Tolls, which I don't really know if that was particularly fitting for their games, but that's neither here nor there. What is important is the fact that I don't own the rights to play Metallica on stream. So basically, and I was not the only person live streaming reactions to BlizzCon, so I'm sure a few other people ran into this issue. I realized about a third of the way through the song that I needed to cut the audio on the video feed because of DMCA issues. Now, for a small streamer like me, it's not gonna bother me. I'm okay. I haven't heard anything from YouTube yet. I'm sure. Actually, I think because I'm on YouTube, I'm fine. Because I think they actually did things the right way. But where this becomes funny is BlizzCon was live streaming on several services: Twitch, YouTube, the Blizzard website, and they bought the rights to the Metallica music that was being played live. So, from my perspective, if I understand this right, and assuming YouTube did it correctly, I will be okay. Because I'm allowed to use Blizzard properties for my videos because it's free publicity for them. They love it. As long as I'm not adding like a monetary wall in front of any of it, like I can use it as much as possible. So I'm pretty sure I'm fine. Twitch, however, our DMCA gurus of the current present did not buy the rights to For Whom the Bell Tolls. And so halfway through the Blizzard live stream, when Metallica was playing, they had to cut the music and dub over it. And what they dubbed over is not even remotely close. There is a video of it online. If you didn't catch it live, I mean, you can catch it is hilarious. It's honestly some of the funniest shit I've seen this year so far. And it's a nice full circle to what I was talking about last week with Twitch, just sort of actively ignoring the DMCA issues that they are creating and causing. So that's nice and fun. That was a nice little. I found that out today, and I put a smile on my face. Hope that makes you laugh as well. But back to this. This album is called Demon, and has been sort of in the works and been being teased by StreamBeats for roughly 6 months now. I think the first time that I heard Harris Heller mention it was back in like August, and I assumed it was like further down the pipeline than back in August. I assumed that it was further along and like close to release when he was teasing it, but they really took their time on it, and it shows. Now, he didn't write any of this, from what I understand. I believe it was written by his, like I said, by his editor and his audio guy, mostly. But I know that they collaborated with a bunch of people on it as well. Obviously, because it's brand new and because it is royalty-free, there isn't a whole lot of information on it available to me to, like, dig into. I will tell you, I am pretty sure that the drums are canned. Meaning that they didn't have a drummer, they engineered the drum sounds. I can get into briefly why I believe that they're canned. It's not overly important. It still sounds fine. It's like I said, it's a great album. Like I would not be surprised if they're canned, but they still sound fine, and that pains me to say because obviously live musician, I prefer to not be replaced by a computer, but in these trying times, it would not offend me too badly. I actually need to turn this volume up for myself. Anyway, it's a great album. You should go check it out. But enough about that. I do also want to talk today a little bit about Broadway again, actually. Broadway and the artists involved in Broadway, and some of the things that are sort of coming up that I was reading about today that I'm going to preface all this by saying don't ever read comment sections. I have to do it now as part of this whole content creator thing because I need to interact with comments in my own content, but like, don't read comment sections if you can avoid it. So I read 2 articles today. One from NPR, one from a Broadway resource, basically. 2 very different articles, both focused sort of on the recovery and the current state of the industry, which I talked a little bit about this last week too. There is not much of a state of the industry right now. It's kind of gone for right now. And eventually it'll come back and we'll be all happy and and jumping around for joy. And, you know, honestly, I will probably break down the first time I played live music again with people in front of a live audience that doesn't involve a video camera and some microphones and anything remotely close to the internet. But the first one that I watched, or read rather, the first article I read was a check-in on NPR with 5 different people within the theater performing arts industry: a stage manager, a dancer, actor, a musician, and a what was the last one? I feel bad about this. And a singer. So, singer, instrumentalist, actor, dancer, stage manager. And they were checking in with all 5 and seeing what they've been up to, what they've been doing since almost a year ago now. We're getting very close to that 1 year mark. We're about 20 days away, roughly. Sad little milestone. But they were checking in, just asking what these people have been doing, what they were feeling, how they felt when things happened, you know, and what they've been doing since. And it was a lot of the same. A lot of hearing about lack of motivation, hard finding motivation right now, and like, you know, staying active and continuing to do things. Like, most of them are, you know, the dancer took some time off from dancing in the summer and then has been starting back up again to hone the skills. The musician has been just practicing. Stage manager is working now as, I believe, a costumer with a show out in LA. And the other, one of the others is now going to grad school. And the general consensus, 3 of them are completely unemployed, living off of unemployment. And the general consensus with it was, you know, we got nothing. It's not coming back, you know, anytime soon. 2022, optimistically, I think, is right now the year everyone's saying. But it's unfortunate because, you know, you see this check-in and it's been the same story. They've done several of these since quarantine began. I remember reading one a few months ago. They do this regularly. Whoever their cultural consultant is working overtime trying to find people who are actually willing to talk about this. But the thing that bothered me about it, like, it was the comments section. Because you have a handful of responses and all of them are bad. There's like 1 or 2 like sympathetic people out there that are saying, oh, well, you know, we need you people, like, stay strong, we're here with you, all that stuff. There are a handful of sympathetic people, but then you get a bunch of chads that come in and are like, oh, just do something else. Like, survival of the fittest, go play. This was actually a really good take, not a good take, it was a god-awful take, but this was a really good comment that I read that made me kind of like go, excuse me, what? This guy actually suggested that people start using this time to learn how to plant gardens, and someone was like, or plant gardens for survival was the whole gist of the comment, and someone was like, you do know that most of these people live in cities, right? And he's like, I lived in Oklahoma City, and I was able to, you know, grow onions and things on my roof. Why can't people in New York City do it? And I was like, man, desperately out of touch. Desperately, hilariously out of touch. But what's funny to me, what's continuously funny to me, is that these people in the comment sections, they will be the first people to buy tickets to just about anything on Earth. Hamilton's coming through their town. They will get on that wait list. They will enter that lottery for tickets. You know, they will spend inordinate amounts of money to like indulge in theater and the arts and any sort of art form for entertainment, to get away from their, you know, for lack of a better description, boring lives. And then they'll be the first people to just say, do something else when it all goes south. You know, the late stage capitalism has not been kind on the minds of people who think that the starving artist is a mentality that needs to be permanent. Like, I talked about this, I keep going back to last week, because this is almost an extension of last week's stream. In a way. Given the state of everything. But, like, I do truly believe that the music industry is going to adapt to the point where a lot more musicians are going to be able to have a comfortable living, and it's going to be largely based around streaming and royalty-free music, and that's going to change how we consume art. There are these milestones throughout the history of the arts that have changed how we consume entertainment, how we consume art, how we consume things. And, you know, obviously it's all monetized. It always has been. That is how capitalism works. That is how the exchange of goods and services has gone since the dawn of man. But here's the thing. We get into these ruts, generational ruts, where we have this mindset that this job has to do this thing, and if you are entering this job path, it's just your lot in life. You will, you know, if you're going to be a musician, you're most likely going to be miserable unless you're a teacher. Like, and that's just how it is. And if you don't like it, get out. And you have some dogmatic teachers in our space that are telling kids that, and it perpetuates the ideology. And it isn't until you break away from those ideological ideas that you stay in this rut. And eventually there is something that happens that breaks you out of it. And I do think that the pandemic is going to do that to the arts industry. Hopefully we learn something and don't go the opposite direction, because it could go the other way too. But there are enough of us that I think it will end up positive. But I do love when they do these check-ins with artists, like the number of comments that are like, get off of unemployment and go work at a grocery store. Like, currently there's an argument over the minimum wage, because it's in the stimulus package going through Congress right now. Like, there is this just mentality that we shouldn't pay artists for anything. Like, and I know me advocating for like the royalty-free music thing sounds like I'm diving into it, but no, like, there is a way to do it in such a way where you can pay people fairly. Like, one of the biggest problems with the music industry is the deficit between the superstars playing for stadiums and, you know, your Broadway musicians or your bar musicians. Like, there is a huge deficit between the two, and I think what's going to end up happening, it's going to level the playing field as this becomes, as royalty-free music becomes more prevalent and artists start signing to those labels. It's going to sort of lower the gap between the superstar artists and your average players, your average professionals who are as educated, if not more so, than the superstars. I want to like make that very clear. Like, a lot of the best musicians in the world do not make millions of dollars, and never will. They do very well, but they don't make millions. It's a very strange topic to discuss, to be honest with you. Let me check on this anyway. So yeah, don't read the comment section. It's not good for your mental health. That being said, that brings me to the second thing that I read today, which was in reference to Hamilton, and specifically the Broadway production of Hamilton in New York. They are planning on doing a July production this year. It's still in the planning process, but the early reports are they are going to operate at 25% capacity, and tickets are going to be $1,000. I saw this article maybe an hour or two ago, and I have a lot of issues with this. First of all, Hamilton is probably the only show on Broadway right now that has the capital to take the hit that they're going to take no matter what by opening at 25%. Tickets being $1,000 makes no difference. You know, that is assuming they sell out that 25%. That's still not even a drop in the well of what it costs to put that show on in a night. So there are some investors that are very confident in this business model, and I'm curious to see what happens, but I do have a massive problem with how they're doing it, because like I said, tickets are $1,000 a pop, and that's the starting price. It completely and utterly makes it inaccessible to most people, especially now of all times. Like, the only people you're going to get going to that show are elites who are starved for entertainment. The same people I said earlier who were like, get another job, you worthless musician, you know, like, they are the only people who are going to be able to afford that, and it's going to pay the musicians and the cast and all of the people like 1 week's salary, maybe. It's probably going to be just a show. Like, they're probably going to pay them based on the show, which means they're going to make shit. Like, even in the current state of things, like, even with a massive backing from their investors, they're still going to make next to nothing, I would wager. I know it's going to be, I can't wait for the headline, because it will be an issue with the New York Musicians Union. Like, that's going to be a huge fight when push comes to shove. And I would be surprised if we're talking less than $1,000 for that one show. And I know, like, a lot of you might be thinking, well, you know, if it's anywhere close to $1,000, that's 1 day of work. They just made $1,000. Well, yes, but that doesn't go very far. All of these people live in New York, like, and all of them live in New York City for the most part. Some of them might live in Jersey, some of them might live in Connecticut and commute down, but, like, around here, that $1,000, if it's even that much, does not go particularly far, especially if you have no idea when that's going to happen again. So it's going to mess up whatever benefits they're currently on for unemployment, big time. And then, you know, they're not going to be able to go particularly far with what they end up getting. So I am starting to hear some audio crackle. So if there's anybody in the chat, would you please let me know if you're hearing it too, or if it's just my headphones? I'm really hoping it's just my headphones. Actually, there's a good way to fix this. 1 second. We're gonna go wired. Oh, come on. There it is. Come on. There we go. And we're back. Okay. Now I can hear. Perfect. Sounds like it was just on my end. I apologize if it's on the stream. I don't re-record these Tuesday streams. I don't record while I stream them, so these are one-offs. Every other stream from here on out, however, I am actually recording while streaming, so that if the video quality is bad, you can catch the better footage in the highlight reel. Anyway, back to Hamilton. Someone I'm friends with on Facebook had made a very solid point that theater should be for everyone, and if they're going to take the financial hit anyway, they should make the show free for frontline workers like doctors and, you know, doctors, nurses, food service workers, like people that have been working since day one of the pandemic and working their asses off to keep people fed, healthy, safe, all that stuff. Like, open it up to the essential workers. Have that one night be a night of entertainment if they want to take it on, and just go do that. Like, I agree, because I know for a fact that 25% of what is it, the what, I forget which theater Hamilton's in, but 25% of that theater will not even come close to the operating cost of the show for one night, and it doesn't sound like they're going to cut it in any sort of way. 1 second. It's the Richard Rogers Theater. My girlfriend just popped her head around the corner to tell me. But I know for a fact that 25% at $1,000 a pop, even if there's no upcharge for the quality of the seat, they're not going to come close to the operating cost of that show for a night. Like when Beetlejuice was playing, their operating costs for one night were like in the millions of dollars. It was like 2.5 or something per night, and it was something like astronomically stupid. I can't actually remember what it was, but that was operating at the Winter Garden. Like a show that has been running as long as Hamilton, a show that is as popular as Hamilton, their operating costs are in the millions per night, and 25% of the house capacity isn't gonna touch that. Even with merch sales and alcohol sales, nothing like that. No, absolutely not. So I think they should open it up to the essential workers. If they're gonna take the financial hit, pay your people well, open it up to essential workers, see what happens. Use this as an experiment. Because right now, there were reports that we'll have herd immunity by April, which I think is overly optimistic. President Biden was saying that December is when roughly things will come back to normal. And Dr. Fauci was like, yeah, next year. So, like, depending on who you listen to, varying levels of optimism. I think December at this point is a nice middle ground. Like, yeah, it's the almost 2-year mark of the pandemic, but you look back at history. How long did America deal with the Spanish flu? 1918 to roughly 1920. You know, it's not that far-fetched to think that 2 years might be how long we deal with this thing. That being said, I think December. I think Hamilton will have their night. They will have a bit of optimism towards the state of the industry, but I don't know if Broadway can even begin to make a comeback until at least December. Like, the model has to be perfected. At this point, you're talking about entertainment. Like, the first ones to leave and the last ones to come back. Like, no producer is going to want to put on a show right now. That is such a high risk. I applaud the producers of Hamilton for even trying it. Or even obviously it's not official yet. Like, they're just voicing their idea that they're going to do this. Like, I applaud them for getting that far and setting a date. I think it was specifically July 4th. Like, I applaud that. I really, truly do. But I don't know. I'm skeptical. All right, we're actually approaching the end of this album. I'm gonna kind of talk a little bit less right now because they do a rendition of the Wellerman, and it fucking slaps. The Wellerman being that it's not exactly a sea shanty. It's being classified as a sea shanty right now. It's technically not, but I'm not gonna get into why. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. She'd not been 2 weeks from shore when down on her a right whale bore. The captain called all hands and swore he'd take that whale. Yeah, I need a minute. I just need to listen to this. I can't talk over this. I just get The harmonies just like get to me.
Before the boat had hit the water, the whale's tail came up and caught her. All hands to the side, harpooned and fought her when she dived down low. Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. No line was cut, no whale was free.
I'm gonna have to see if I can find the video. There was a... There was a really great analysis of the Wellerman and where it came from. Actually, it was How to Drink did it. How to Drink did a thing about the Wellerman because this song became all the rage on TikTok. And there was a music theorist who did a really, really great breakdown of like a TikTok compilation. Oh, like the history behind sea shanties and songs like this, like it's really cool. It really is. I'm actually going to use this song because it's royalty free. I'm going to use it for the outro of all my Valheim videos from now on because I'm actually going to use it in the videos for a couple of things. Like I have a couple of really funny ideas in my mind for it. Oh, it's so good. I'm actually going to read some of these comments too. Man gave us an entire album for free. Appreciate it. I listened to this way too many times now. It's like, yeah, I want to be very clear. The Wellerman lives rent-free in my head most of the day, most of the week, currently. I will be doing the dishes, and I will start whistling it. I will be in the shower, and I will think of harmonies to it. I don't know why. It is the catchiest damn song on the face of the planet. But, like... Anyway. That whole album was Demon by StreamBeats Originals. I'm going to put some more StreamBeats music on because I think this is going to just be a StreamBeats stream today. Oh, let's see. Let's do Sus. Sus sounds like a fun album. Oh, yeah. It's kind of like an EDM album from him. I use this song actually as my outro on my other videos. So, in case anyone was wondering, like what I use in the editing process and how like I keep, you know, where I find my my underscore music. Yeah, but this album is called Sus. It's EDM. It's kind of like, I dig it. It's upbeat. Yeah. I do really love it though. Anyway, taking a break from talking about royalty-free music for a second, I want to talk about like the past week in terms of this channel and the stream and like where I think the channel is going to be heading now that I have a sort of better idea of what I'm doing. So on Friday I did the live react, which was to this point the most watched video that I've put out. It had the highest concurrent viewers, is still getting views, and had some of the highest reactions. And that was from a live react. Now, like that part of that is due to the fact that it was centered around Overwatch 2 and like there is some content to be made there. And I will be actually cutting that video down to make it a more palatable 10 to 15 minute sort of summary of all the things that we talked about and some of the finer points. That being said, I also put out a Valheim review today, which has done very, very well comparatively in the first few hours that it's been out. If you haven't seen it, I'm very, very proud of it. I spent a lot of time on it. I'm very proud of the quality of it. It's something that, like, I want to be clear, like, I'm proud of all the content that I put out on this channel. This Tuesday live stream, even, where I'm just sort of rambling, talking into the void, or to anyone that'll listen. I'm proud of all the content that I put out. This is all stuff that I would be fine with showing my family, my friends, all, you know, usually the people that tune into this, I know you all personally. It's something that I am more than confident putting out into the world, okay? It's not something that in 10 years I'm going to look back and go, oh god, why did I do that? No. But the Valheim review that I did this week, the video that dropped today, go check it out if you haven't, is something I'm very, very proud of. It is high quality audio. The video clips were things that I strategically put in place, you know, from the gameplay to reflect what I was talking about in the review. And the voiceover part of it, you know, everything, I spent a lot of time recording and making things, you know, I even wrote a script for it, to make things sound concise and clean and make sure that I hit all of the things that I wanted to talk about. I'm very proud of it, and I think that's kind of where I'm going to take this channel in terms of the direction. Valheim I've been playing enough of right now where I feel confident that I can make a guide that's useful based on the things that I've been doing in the game. Not necessarily things that everybody's going to want to do, but things that I've been doing, specifically building crazy shit. Like, my Valheim server, I have this very ornate base with things that are, like, just... I went over the top. I've just, like, scavenged resources left and right to make these things just crazy architecture. I wanted to test the game and see how far I could push it. And I've spent hours on hours just building shit. So I'm not very far into the game. But it's given me an idea for, like, a very good feel for how the building mechanics work, and I actually have a good idea of the limits you can push towards building things because of how much I've experimented with. So I'm probably going to put out a building guide on Valheim sometime in the near future. Probably next week, if I had to guess, if I can get the footage done in time. Other than that, I think I'm going to focus the majority of my content on, like, the main video being either a guide or a review or a, you know, like an ideas thing between Apex, Overwatch, Valheim, whatever else I end up playing. And then make the minor video of the week be a highlight video, because the highlight videos, while they're fun for me to make and it makes me think, oh, I can be funny here, I can add this meme and do this kind of thing, like, highlight videos aren't what draws people to the channel. Like, they aren't necessarily, like, no one's really gonna click on a random highlight video from someone they've never seen. So, like, however, if I have a high quality guide for Valheim, like, I know that there are plenty of people out there like me who binge watch YouTube. Like, if there's something I want to know something about, I will look up that topic and then I will watch 6 or 7 videos from different people all on that topic. So it's much easier to be palatable and grow as a channel if you're doing, you know, guides and reviews and tip sheets and stuff like that. Like, there's a lot of content to be made there, and I've already got a whole bunch of ideas on what I'm gonna do, and, you know, I hope you'll stick along for the ride, because I'm very curious, like, to see where this goes. And you know, it's nice to feel inspired again. You know, the one good thing that's been, like, well, among the several good things about this channel for me, has been just being able to be creative again and think about how I can push my own boundaries again, which is something I haven't been able to do in almost a year, you know. But I think that's kind of where we're headed. I think we're gonna stream a lot more frequently, because I'm gonna need to supplement all the guides. So if you'll notice, like, last week I streamed 4 days, 5 days almost, which was sort of out of character for this channel, but it did give me a lot of content. And the other thing is, like, it took away from my ability to make the videos, but it gave me things to make the videos. So, like, win, lose, win lose, break even kind of thing. The other thing is, like, I'm going to start streaming a lot more Valheim just because I get so sucked into that game. it's kind of like, it's kind of obnoxious how much I get sucked into that game. Like, I will log in with the intent of just trying one thing, and then I'll sit there for 30 minutes to an hour and just, like, do something else. It's a little crazy. But, I will say, I am going to stream again tonight. After this stream, I'm going to take a little bit of a break, get some things done around here. But I am then going to stream Valheim tonight, around 9 o'clock. We're going to be taking on the second boss, finally, at long last. We're going to be doing a couple other things to sort of build base camp up and make it strong and get us ready for the next biome, which will be the swamp after we defeat the Elder, who's big old tree man. So stop on by. It's just gonna be me and Rando tonight. At some point, Con Man is off doing his other job this week, so he does not have his PC. So we are going to sort of get ahead and let him come in and touch our stuff so that he gets all the recipes and levels up with us. But yeah, we'll be streaming Valheim tonight, and there will be like a funny moments compilation of Valheim coming at some point once I've compiled enough footage. And most of it is going to be us getting vaporized by trolls, because that happens way more often than we'd like. But yeah, in the interim, if you're new to this channel and you like what you saw, thank you for being here. Consider throwing this video a like. Liking these videos helps the algorithm, helps me be more discoverable on YouTube. I'm gonna start doing more things on YouTube, like submitting clips to other channels that do bigger compilation videos of streamers to try and bring more traffic to the channel. I'm gonna start doing guide videos. I'm gonna start doing YouTube Shorts, and I'm gonna step a little bit farther away from Instagram and Twitter. Yeah. The discoverability on both is great. I've been getting a lot of followers on Instagram, which is great, but that doesn't translate to viewers and followers and subscribers on YouTube. So now we have to figure out how to split the difference. So that'll be the big project for this week. I've got a couple actual music things coming down the pipeline that I'll be posting about, and I will actually throw them on this channel as well, because why not? But we are reaching a pretty natural cadence for this stream. It's a little shorter today, I know, but it's been a busy week. I'm a little tired today. I'm just kind of, I'm in a bit of a fog myself, not gonna lie. And yeah, like I said, I want to be proud of all the content. I want this to be fun for you, and 45 minutes is still a pretty quality happy hour stream. So I'm gonna vamp a little bit more while I finish this beer. Also, quick shout out. Drinking out of my Brew Gentleman glass from Brew Gentleman in Braddock, PA, one of my favorite breweries of all time. Big shout out to them. I no longer live in the Pittsburgh area, but I miss that beer oh so very much. And yeah, other than that, if you want to know what beer I was drinking today, it was Superhero Sidekicks IPA from KCBC, Kings County Brewers Collective. Sorry, I said the name wrong at the beginning of the stream. Don't at me. I have now fixed it. Kings County Brewers Collective in Brooklyn. Another great New York local beer. Who, as it turns out, has beer available at Trader Joe's, which is excellent for me. But anyway, if you like what you saw, interact with the content. Check out my other videos. Check out the live stream from Friday. Check out the live stream from last Monday, where I was playing Among Us. The audio is a little bit sketchy, but there's some good gameplay there and was a lot of fun. We had a good time. I will be back on later tonight, roughly around 9 o'clock. Check out the Valheim stream, vibe with us, hang out with us. I'm going to be having more of this beer and just getting stuff done. It's going to be a fun time. We're going to have fun. So, and let me know. Let me know down in the comments. Should I stream earlier in the day? Should I stream later at night? What's a better time to be online for my viewers? Like, what do you guys want? Do you want me to do some streams during the workday so you've got background noise? Do you want me to, give me feedback? I thrive off of feedback. It helps me make better content for you. because I enjoy doing this. So, interact with the content. Consider subscribing to the channel if you're not already. Check out my other videos. And until next time, I stream every Tuesday. I stream 4 or 5 times a week otherwise. Until next time, cheers, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Have a